Spoiler alert, today is going to be the most personal episode so far. But before I get into it, quick reintroduction. My name is Daniel Bamdat. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Daniel Bamdat, where I philosophize about life, about my human experience, and share my teachings, not my teachings really, more so my lessons that I learn, and hopefully in some shape or form they can help you in your life. I do not teach, I do not coach, simply because I believe that each and everyone's experience is their unique one. And so for me, I just believe that by sharing my experience with you, I can hopefully serve you in some shape or form and maybe inspire you to think about things in a different way. Now, before we get into it, if this is the first time you're watching, I got this beautiful Pomodoro that I use for work, and also in this video. And so because I really sincerely appreciate and respect your time, I want to make sure that I can get through this in 10 minutes and get to the point in 10 minutes. Now, really quickly, I realized right before this video that my son once again played with this, and somehow he set the 10-minute thing to a 12-minute timer. Also, this almost runs out of battery, so I have not been well prepared in this case. And so we're just going to start this, and I'm going to in between look into this. It's not going to beep today because at 2 minutes left, I'm going to stop this, just so you know, because otherwise it would be 12 minutes. So thank you, Conan, for surprising Papa with this nice thing. So it's 12 instead of 10 minutes. So then at 10 minutes, we will be through with this topic. Now, I promised you that today is going to be the most personal episode so far. And to be honest with you, I still feel nervous about this episode, about sharing this topic with you. But something inside of me is telling me that I should do it because it most probably will help you out there in some shape or form. And so it came to me during my last week when I was in Hamburg. For you, in case you do not know, I was born and raised in Hamburg for the first 20 years of my life. And so I went back there to give you a context real quick. I went back there for work and I stayed for the weekend plus 5 days to work. So 7 days basically in total, which is also the longest time that I've been away so far from my son Conan. Not my wife Vanessa, because we've been apart longer periods for work, etc. But from our son Conan, this is the longest that I was gone for. Now, also, Hamburg has this strange relationship with me because this is where I grew up. There is a lot of things that I connect this city with that were very challenging for me, that were difficult to process, that represent choices that I made that I'm not too proud of, and so many other things. And so what happened, and this is when all of this trickled down, and this is what I'm going to get to today. What happened is that I really clearly realized something about myself and how that affects my path on where I'm trying to go in life. And so I'm just going to put the elephant out in the room. This is definitely not how you say it, but I'm just going to put the cards on the table because I don't think it gets any easier. The topic that I want to talk to you about today is OCD. And to be honest with you, it's not the OCD that was so generalized now, just like the word authenticity that we talked about, because OCD now is a word that, you know, people are trying to like arrange their home and they're like, oh my God, I'm so OCD. And it became kind of this, not trend word, but this easy to use word when, and this is where we're getting to now, when someone that has been struggling with OCD for now that I can remember more than 23 years, it's much more complex than, you know, just wanting to make sure that your frame is aligned, which I'm in no shape or form trying to to play this down, because I'm certain that, this is also, you wanting to make sure that things are straight, but there's different levels to it, right? And for me, it was really important that I never really wanted to speak about this too much, because I never wanted to get limited down. I don't know if I can say it like this, but I never wanted to have people look at me and, feel sorry for me, or feel like, oh, I want to support him because he has this. It sounds so weird, but this is the only way that I can put this in words. I told you it's going to be a tricky one and a personal one today. So anyways, what happened is, and for you maybe, if you don't know exactly what OCD is, OCD is really a complex thing. It's a mix of something that happens like in neurobiology, so like inside your brain, together with certain things in your surrounding, the way that you grew up. It's also very highly inheritable. So I think it's like a 40-50% chance that if your parents had or have OCD, that you could get it. So it's a really complex thing, but it's not like a disability that you can see, or like being different in a way that you have two different colored eyes, right? Everyone is going to look at you and going to be like, oh yeah, this person has two different colored eyes, which is not a disability. But as you can see, I'm a little bit nervous talking about this topic, but it's clear to see this person has two different colored eyes. When it comes to OCD, the problem with that is that oftentimes people play it down because they cannot see it. But where I'm trying to go with this, and what that means, and again, this episode could be hours long, but I promise you that I'm going to get to a point that I believe can serve you in some shape or form. So during this time in Hamburg, my stress level kind of rises, right? And at least for me, with my OCD, the higher my stress level, the worse my OCD gets, right? And to give you like quick rundown examples. So the first time that I can remember is about 13 years old. Now at the peak point, I couldn't hug my own mom, right? Like I couldn't touch any door handles. I had to wash and wipe every single coin in my wallet every time I went outside. Every single piece of clothing, including jackets, had to be washed after being worn once. It goes so far. Like we would not have the time right now to go into this depth. But during my time in Hamburg, it got really, really difficult this time because I was missing Conan. I also missed Vanessa, because honestly, this is kind of my safe space now, my family. Also, we live not in the city center at all. It's another thing that I realized. I function much better in nature and outside where there's not a lot of people. So we moved quite onto the outskirts, and in Hamburg, I'm in the middle of it. So all of these things come together, then work. And so my stress level was rising, and my OCD got really, really bad. And now I've been back about a week, and it's starting to like balance itself out, which, by the way, I live with this every day. It's not that it's ever perfect, but I learn to live with it. But where am I trying to go with this? What I'm trying to tell you with this, and what I realized, is that we all have our own struggles, our own challenges that we have to live through, right? And when we are trying to make our lives better, or when we are trying to achieve our goals, or when we are trying to make our dream a reality, it oftentimes is very unfortunate that we are not honest with ourselves, because we learn to live with it, right? So that means I'm not honest with myself, giving myself enough credit for how far I've come having to live with this severe OCD, because I'm running on autopilot, right? It's just normal to me now. And so I don't realize how much of my energy, how much of my battery goes into the OCD. And it's maybe not the same as another person on social media saying, yo, you have to structure this like this and your day like this, and then you can make this. And why are you not already making 20,000 euros a month? Because my reality is a different one. But we tend to forget the things that we struggle with on a daily, the challenges that we have to go through on the daily. And so what I'm simply trying to say there is take moments, be kinder with yourself, and remind yourself of your reality. Because I'm sure that even if you do not have to struggle with OCD, you have your own challenges that I don't have to deal with, and nobody else that's trying to coach you and tell you how to live your life or achieve your goals. No, not a single person of them knows your reality to 100%. And so it's really, really important, because I give you another really simple example. My book is going to be ready in Q4 of this year, right? And I think this is a great example. And I'm thinking to myself that I know for a fact, I see it on social media, I know that a good marketing point would be for me to be out there in the streets and giving this book to people who want it, right? But here is the thing. You might see someone like a business coach, someone on social media telling you, Daniel, this is the way you have to go. Like, just go out onto the street and just make it happen. But here is the reality check. And it might sound ridiculous to you, but this is really the truth, okay? I've been thinking about this a lot, and I know that it could have such a big impact because I can really greatly connect with people. And I'm sorry, but now this is the 2 minutes, so technically 10 minutes are over, but I have to finish this thought. So I would give this book out to people on the street and gift it to them, and somebody would record me, and this would be great for TikTok, Instagram, etc. You know what is my challenge though? My challenge is that, as weird as it sounds, everything in me tenses up, and my OCD is taking over so intensely if I have to shake hands with strangers, or if strangers are trying to hug me, which again, like, this has nothing to do with the person doing it, right? I don't feel some kind of way about that person or think this person is bad or less or whatever. It's like, it's this weird thing in my brain and I cannot shake it off, right? It's something that, like, my shoulders get tight, I get tense, there is things running in my head. It's really difficult for me. And so here you see my reality, which is, I know that this would bring my journey forward and probably make my book more successful in getting more reach out there. But is it as easy for me as it would be for somebody that can easily shake people's hands and hug strangers and so on? No, it would be much easier for them. And so I think this is a great example for you to realize that whatever you are choosing to do, know that you are doing your best. You are doing your best, and you are never going to just be easily, able to adapt to advice from other people, because we all live our unique experience with our unique challenges. And so the message really is just be kinder with yourself, remind yourself of the struggles that you have to go through and how far you've come, and give yourself a bit more credit than you probably do, because we all give ourselves too little credit for how far we've come already. Now, honestly, this feels way too short of an episode because I could talk about this in depth. Maybe and hopefully it made sense to you in some shape or form. I still feel nervous because this is like such a deep topic in my life, and people like Vanessa, my wife, or my mother, who really like see this topic, they could tell you in depth just what this means in my life. But nonetheless, I'm super happy that I took the energy and the courage to speak to you about this. I hope this helps you in some shape or form. If you have not yet subscribed, please click the subscribe button if you like what you're hearing here, if this inspires you or motivates you to think about your life in different ways. And you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Daniel Bamdat. And then I would absolutely love if you share this video or any of my content on social media with any people in your circle that might get use out of this. Thank you so much for your time today. I really look forward to next week's episode, and much love.